Hi, I'm Chef Tammy Brawley from the Green Kitchen. We are here today to make some delicious scones. I love doing these. These are great breakfast foods, great brunch foods. I have come up with basically a base recipe for scones, and then you can change your flavor components. The recipe you'll see is going to say oatmeal scones. That's going to always be in the scones, but today we're actually going to add banana and black walnut. Probably one of my favorite ones to ever make. And what you want to do is actually want to start out by toasting your oatmeal. This is plain Quaker oats, not the quick ones, but just the ones that take a little while. Put them on a sheet tray in your oven for about 8 or 9 minutes till they just pick up a little bit of brown, a little bit of toasting. Don't walk away from that, maybe even set a timer, and then pull those out and let those cool. While they're cooling, we're going to make the remaining part of the dough. So what we're going to do here is we have a 1.5 cups of flour. We're going to put it in our food processor. We're going to add a 1/3 cup sugar. We're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. We're going to process that up just a little bit. And we're going to add some delicious bits of goodness in the form of 10 tablespoons of butter. I've cut them into cubes. Makes it a little easier for the food processor. Just drop them in a little bit at a time. You can leave it a little crumbly, it's totally fine. Oh, that looks great. We're going to come back and we're going to add it to our bowl. And we're not done with the food processor. We're going to come back to that in just a moment. And then to the flour and baking powder and sugar and salt, you're going to add your toasted oatmeal. Doesn't need to come together. You want to, well, not really come together, but you want to make sure you don't have just chunks of the flour and butter. So you go ahead and mix it together like this. It's great to get in there with your hands. We encourage playing with our food in the kitchen. And now back to the food processor, we're actually going to add a 1/4 cup milk and a 1/4 cup heavy cream, or a 1/2 cup of half and half if you prefer. Totally fine to use that as a substitute. And then to that, you're actually going to crack an egg. Now I'm going to go ahead and crack an egg over a little measure here. I can't tell you how many times I've cracked an egg directly into my product and then it's got shell in it, and then you spend time trying to get that out. So it's better if you crack it into a separate container. I don't see any shell, thankfully. Put that in our food processor. And now we're going to pounce this up just a little bit and add some imitation banana extract, just about a 1/2 teaspoon. However, that is not where all the banana flavor is going to come from. How many of you, me included, have bought bananas and they go bad before you get a chance to eat them? I always throw mine in the freezer because I do make this recipe a lot, but I also do a lot of banana breads. They do turn black. They're not going to be very pretty, but they're still very, very functional. Now I'm going to turn around and I'm going to make sure there's no strings, hopefully. And I'm going to add that whole banana into our food processor with the cream and the egg. It's kind of gross looking, but it's still going to be delicious. We're going to blend that. It's perfect. That banana being frozen is going to add a little thickness to it as well. Now you want to reserve a little bit of this cream mixture for glazing at the end. I'll explain that to you in a few moments. And what we're going to do is we're coming back to our mix. We're going to add about a 1/2 cup, maybe 3/4 cup of black walnuts. Some of you might have a black walnut tree in your yard. These are fantastic. They offer a lot more flavor than just plain walnuts, and I love using them. Now I'm going to add in that cream and banana mixture. So now what we have is our cream mixture, which has the banana processed in it. And we've added some black walnuts to the oatmeal and flour mixture here. Our scone dough is coming together quite nicely. Now we're going to transfer this mixture to our board. I've put down a piece of parchment paper. It's a great little tool to use to keep it from sticking. Oh yeah. There we go. So now I've got a nice ball of scone dough to put out on my board. It's nice and together, but you can turn it over just to make sure, and then you want to start patting it out a little bit. I get it down to about an inch or so thick, maybe a little less, but you want to try to be as even as you can. You would like nice even portions when these bake. Now the little tip that I was talking about a little while ago is using one of these medieval looking tools here. This is actually a pie separator or pie portion. I put it into the middle and I mark my lines. Do you have to have one of these to do these? No, absolutely not. You can certainly use a knife. You just want nice even portions. You're going to come back and you're going to cut down on the scone on those lines that you've just worked so hard to make. And you don't have to cut all the way through the paper. You just want to get the scones marked. You want to have a sheet tray ready. My oven is on 425. I like to face them in the opposite direction for nice even cooking. Again, that's not something you have to do. It's just something I've done all these years and I'm so used to it. And then you want to come back to that reserved cream mixture that we separated out at the beginning. So we're just going to use a spoon and we're just going to sprinkle or spread a little bit of our cream mixture on top of our scones. Now keep in mind that this cream mixture also has the flavor of that processed banana in it and that little bit of banana extract. And then in the scone itself are those delicious black walnuts. And then you want to come back with some raw sugar or turbinado, just some brown cane sugar. You really don't want to use white sugar for this. This just caramelizes that much better. Sprinkle that right over the top. And these are going to go in the oven for about 15 minutes or so. All right, and here we are, banana black walnut scones fresh out of the oven. We want to take them and platter them a little bit. These are absolutely delicious with coffee, with tea. They're a little too hot to bite right now, but they're fabulous. Banana black walnut scones with oatmeal. I'm Chef Tammy Brawley from the Green Kitchen. Join us next time on Heart of the Home.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafb.com/recipes, as well as on Chef Tammy Brawley's website at greenkitchenrichmond.com.